host, Nakia, doing all the analysis, and we are here to discuss the Bills. We're on to Week 3. If Weeks 1 and 2 taught us anything, is that the Chiefs don't stand a chance against the Jets. This team, we don't know who they are, what team's going to show up on any given week, and the one thing that I think the team has shown is that our offensive line is incredible. For years, we had to worry about Drew Bledsoe or any other quarterback we had getting killed back there in the backfield, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is able to stand in there, get the time that he needs, and still miss throws. Top story of the week, big running back battle between two young running backs. C.J. Spiller tearing it up for the Bills. Trent Richardson having a breakout rookie 2 games. What do you think of the running back battle between these two young guys?
It looks good. Spiller's finally looking like a first-round draft pick. He's averaging over 10 yards a carry for these first 2 games. So let's see if he can keep it up and earn the money, earn his paycheck.
And Richardson's been almost all of the offensive production for the Browns. So if they're going to have any success, Trent Richardson's going to have to keep up what he's been doing.
He's a rookie, so we don't have a lot on him, but these first 2 games he's shown a lot. So let's hope the Bills' defense cannot get run over by a rookie.
We are going up against Dick Duran defense this week. Our offense has had some success running the ball. Dick Duran's defense this year a little bit run weak. Do we stick with the same strategy, pounding the rock, with C.J. Spiller against the first 4-3 defense we faced this year?
Yeah, I mean, why fix it if it's not broken? He's been doing good. Like you said, Fitzpatrick is still not figured out who's on his team. So if we can, stick with C.J. and, use Fitzpatrick until he gets it together, I'm all for it.
Not so much that he doesn't know how his team, but if there's a pass that's more than like 12 yards, he's very accurate and consistent between like 7 to 10 yards.
Yeah.
But if you're in a position where the Bills are in a passing situation, they need to come from behind, and Fitzpatrick needs to make big throws, I'm not convinced that he's going to be able to get us down the field. So I hope that we're able to continue establishing a run game. It's going to continue to buy him the time and keeping the linebackers and the safeties off his receivers. On the defensive side of the ball, both Mark Sanchez and Matt Castle had a considerable amount of success passing the ball. Both picked on Gilmore. Early in the game, Matt Castle tried to single out Terrence McGee defensively, much to Bill's success, thank goodness. But is that a strategy that teams watching Bills tape continues to do, try to pass it over their heads? Or with the success of Trent Richardson, do you think Cleveland's going to try to run it down our throats?
I think they're going to try to run it down our throats because we are the weakest when it comes to the run defense. I mean, the passes, they can get them here and there. Gilmore, I actually think is going to get better. I don't think he's a total loss. I think we give him another week or 2, and he'll get it together. So I see him getting better. You only have to get burned a couple times before you figure out, what you need to do. But I think they're going to keep running it because that's what everybody has had success doing. Win or lose, we give up a ton of yards.
Special teams breakdown this week. Very special player on Cleveland, Josh Cribbs, a threat in the special teams game. Do we risk kicking it to him, punting, or kicking the ball, or do we just have John Potter kick it out of the back of the end zone, or Brian Moorman just punt it away from him all game long?
I mean, I don't give anybody a chance that's made the Pro Bowl on special teams. You keep kicking it out. Brian Moorman he's a Pro Bowl punter, so he needs to keep doing what he's doing, keep kicking it out the end zone. If they, down and at the 1 or 2, that makes it even better. But I don't think you ever give anybody a chance to run the ball back.
While we're taking a moment out of our packed schedule here at Buffalo's Bill pregame to talk about special teams, congratulations to Leotis McKelvin returning a touchdown back this week.
Yes.
We are a highlight team, if anything else, from both games. There's a lot of good highlight clips that you can watch, and hopefully those big plays keep on working out in our favor. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Leotis. And we're on to the topic of discussion this week. Each and every week we have a topic of discussion submitted by you, the viewer, and if you would like a chance to win a $100 grand prize, all you need to do is submit your topic of discussion underneath this video in the comment box. We will choose one each week, and then the winners will be chosen at random at the end of the season, location to be announced. So be sure to continue submitting your topics of discussion. This week, we want to know, does the fact that the Bills face the AFC South and the NFC West this year increase the pressure on the Bills to make the playoffs?
I think so, because you got pretty decent teams in both of those divisions. Any one of them, depending on how they're playing, can be a threat. I mean, we watched San Fran last night, so we know eventually they're coming this way. So we definitely have to pay attention to teams that that are playoff teams. Those teams go to the playoffs. So if we want to get in, then we have to beat them too.
San Francisco proved on national television that they are the real deal, that last season was not a fluke, and I don't like the Bills matchup against them one bit here in a couple weeks. The Seattle Seahawks surprised sleeping Dallas. Maybe they're overlooking that game, or maybe it was a different team that played New York the week before.
Yeah.
But Seattle looked good this week. The Rams, who we think they are. I think the NFC West isn't as easy a draw as it once was.
Right.
The AFC South isn't as strong without Peyton Manning, hands down. So I'm not so concerned about that. But you have to like our schedule, at least in the second half of the season. If we continue eking out these games or getting blown out or blowing other people out, if we can walk out of the first half of the season with at least a winning record or 500, we're posed to do well and make the playoffs. But I don't know if their schedule increases the pressure on a team that has been to the playoffs as longer than anyone else. We have the longest active streak in the NFL, and I don't know if pressure can be increased. No matter, if we're playing New England 15 times. On to keys of the game. So what do you think it is the Bills have to do this week in C-Town to pull out a victory?
As usual, we got to stop the run. Everybody thinks they can run all over us. So we need to make sure that we send a message that we aren't a team that you can just run all over. Win or lose, the running back's going to have great stats against us, and that we can't have.
I think the offensive line needs to keep the consistent play. Fitzpatrick is only going to get worse with more pressure. So if the offensive line can continue protecting the way they have been, I mean, they've been able to even bring in the backups later in games and get everyone some time. So we have good depth and we have good offensive line play. I think we can keep that up. And last week I said Dave Wannstedt needed to coach up that defense, and I think he was listening. So thanks, Dave. It was nice to watch. But offensive line, keep up the good work this week. And who's your pick? The Bills going to win this week?
I'm going to keep sticking with them. We're going to see if we can put together 2 games in a row before New England comes in town. So I don't think they're going to score as much, but I still think they're going to come out with the win. So I'm giving them 24-10.
I think most Bills fans would have been glad to take 2-1 after the first 3 games this week, and I think that's exactly what we're going to get. I say the Bills pull out a relatively easy victory, 28-20. And next week, we'll be back here at home against New England. So hotel rooms, hope clean the best you can. Adams Mark, get ready for Tom Brady's parents. They'll be here to visit. Go Bills.